Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day of Bitcoin and PulseChain and everything you love, crypto. We're going to go through it all, so I hope you have a good time. And we got some hot project updates, so that's going to be fun. We're going to be talking about Tru2X absolutely crushing milestones. I mean, over 150 billion pulse so far. We're going to have a look at the exact result, which is pretty incredible. I mean, it's an incredible result. So, hats off to the Tru2X team. They really have delivered. And the community has loved it, obviously. So that's great. We're going to get into, obviously, LibertySwap. V2 is rolling out. This is a mega big deal. Ecosystem infrastructure for PulseChain, and of course, making PulseChain the privacy chain really of Ethereum. If you look at it that way, pretty amazing. And it's frontier solutions, so loving it. We got also Rack and Rochelle getting very close, I suspect, to the launch of CoinMafia. And of course, Mr. Wu is out there as well, leading the pack, and of course it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to talk about CoinMafia. I'm going to provide the socials as well if you want to join and follow, because that's coming up soon. It's going to be a massive revolutionary launchpad, multi-chain. I think it's over 375 chains, and of course it's really, I guess, going to be based out of PulseChain, but up to 375 chains. I think it's going to be listed on there. Pretty mega, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of excitement with that coming up as well. So we're going to break down a few of the details with CoinMafia. So look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Later today, we've got the monster thread number 34. That is the PulseChain hottest weekly news, monster thread number 34. That is coming out later today, publication of the Crypto Night Show. MVS Crypto, the editor-in-chief, is out there working very hard on that as we speak, probably. So a big shout out to MVS Crypto. And of course, he's also the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show, so he does a great job. And 34 weeks, guys, is pretty impressive. So onwards and upwards, I guess, to 52 weeks. That's 1 year, right? That's 1 year, so that'll be a lot of fun. But we're going to get into all the details. Before we do, though, don't forget to repost the show on X. It helps a lot. So just take a moment, hit the repost button. And if you're watching other PulseChain and crypto influencers, that's always a good idea to hit the repost button as well. Sharing is caring, as they say. All right, we got work for crypto in the house there. Another good day for Pulse dividends, and he's talking about Tru2X. So we're going to be talking about that later on. Pulse dividends are hot in that, so very exciting. We're going to break that down. We've got Rolf in the house as well. Superman's in the house. I'm in the house indeed, and we're getting excited. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so much happening, even when we're in a down day on Pulse. We're going to break down the pullback we had in Pulse. We had a big seller sell today. We're going to have a little look at some of the numbers around that. So if you're looking forward to see why PulseChain went down today, we're going to break that down with CryptoSolve, one of our 3 analytical influencers. So that'll be a lot of fun. Emmett is pumping too. Emmett is pumping. Oh boy, you know all the stuff, don't you? You know all the stuff. Emmett is pumping, and so Emmett is one of our top farms on PulseChain, and it's founded by Kairos. And of course, recently, he's been running the St. Richard Heart project as well, which has been a lot of fun. So we're going to go through that as well. We'll check out the old Emmett and see where Emmett is going to. So a lot in store for today's show. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know that I will, so it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, so let me just pull up one more chart here, and we're going to get ready to rock, as I say. We're going to get ready to rock. All right, let's see where we're going here. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so let's jump over to the where are we going here? We're going to go to the crypto markets generally, so we'll see how the crypto market's going. Let's go to the big screen and jump on there. Bam. All right, so total market cap right now, crypto is 3.049 trillion. 3.049 trillion. It's still a very small market amongst markets. So if you're thinking about commodities, real estate, stock market, bond market, it's still very small. Derivatives market, of course, is the biggest market in the world. And so, yeah, it's a very tiny market, which means that we're still super early, and we know everybody's coming, right? We know everybody's coming, and we know 2026 is going to be an unbelievable year, 2027 as well for crypto. So looking pretty good there. We're at 3.049 trillion. Everyone's early. Get ready to get excited. Bitcoin at the moment, $87,700, is up 0.2%. So we've got a little green day there. Ethereum at the moment is up 0.5% at $2,946. We've got BNB at number 4, is up 2.1%. That's a nice little gain there, $859. XRP at number 5, up 0.1%, $1.86. Solana at number 7 is flat today, $123.76. Tron at number 8 is up 0.3% at 28.5 cents. And of course, Doge there, number 10, is up 0.1% at 12.3 cents. So they're our top 10 at the moment. Let's see who the best performer over the last 24 hours is. BNB up 2.1%. And the best performer over the last week is BNB, also up 0.4% due to today's little lift in prices. So that's kind of the top 10. BNB leading the way there, but generally green, slightly green on all of them for the most part. So pretty good there, except for maybe flat on, it beat Solana and Solana there. All right, so let's have a look at the old weekly top 100. So top 100, we've got Canton sitting at number 34. That's the best performer this week, up 34.6%. 2/3 of that is today. Zcash there at number 22 is the second best performer, up 17.7%. We got Toncoin there, Telegram at number 39 is the third best performer, up 12.5%. Minco at number 49 position is 12% at number 4. And then finally at 81 is Aptos, and that's the fifth best performer in the top 100, up 10%. So we've got 5 in the top above 10% as well. So it's another little metric. So those are some of the leading ones there. Congratulations if you're holding those. Top 1,000, we got the White Whale, Machida, and Diverge Loop. Those are trending in the top 1,000. That does change around a lot, as we know. Trending overall, we got Canton, Flow, and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin there, and of course that's in the title of the video today, is the old Bitcoin. So there we go. That is the total market cap is 3.049 trillion, and we've got a little green day there for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and of course BNB doing pretty well, up 2.2, but still just kind of consolidating in the zone that it is right now. Let's go to the Bitcoin and have a look at the Bitcoin chart. So Bitcoin chart at the moment is this is the monthly chart on Coinbase. We can see that the yellow line is the 50-month moving average, and that's EMA, exponential moving average. So that always weights the more contemporary days compared to the older days. And we've got the price at the moment at $64,797, so just under 65, let's say. And we've got the current price at 87,823. So, and we're consolidating at the moment as we speak in the current day. So it's still looking very good for our banana part of the curve, and that's this part here, right? We get that Raoul Paul banana part of the curve. That is what we're looking forward to in 2026 to start ramping up into that. Particularly, we could start, as early as the 10th of January, something like that. So that's kind of where we are right now. The quiet before the storm, is it? Just as we're during the Christmas holiday period and into New Year's now. Let's go to the daily. Daily chart here at the moment is obviously we've got this death cross here on the 17th of November, still playing that out and still in this consolidation zone here on the chart. So that's kind of the where we're looking at there. Of course, the bulls is Tom Lee, Raoul Paul, expecting us to potentially start ramping up from the 10th of January into that January, February, possibly even March there. Now, we do have a number of, even though we've got all these mega bullish things ahead of us, monetary policy, fiscal policy, the real economy, interest rates, all that interest rate cuts and lots of stuff. We've got all the crypto policy coming and regulations, etc., around the Genius Act, Clarity Act, crypto market structure, SEC, tokenization, all that sort of stuff coming. We do have a few hurdles. We're always going to have a few hurdles, I guess. And one of those, and a lot of them are coming in January, actually, mostly like January, if not February, and that is the SEC court, the Supreme Court case addressing the emergency use of tariffs. Of course, that's being used to make both financial and political reorganizations of the world. So it's pretty significant. So that's in place. Number 2, so we've got that risk. That should go in Trump's favor, but still a risk. And then, of course, we've got the potential government shutdown from the Democrats, repeating what they did last time. That wasn't very good for them, I don't think, but we've got midterms coming up. So let's see whether they decide to use that. Could be a real backfire on them again for the midterms. At the midterms, last time I saw a prediction for the midterms is still a pretty similar Senate position as we've got now. So maybe 53, 54 seats to the Republicans, that kind of set up. So that looks like a no change. Remember, every 2 years you got a 1/3 of the seats go up for voting, right? Up for repositioning there. So that's kind of what's coming at midterm. So far, that's kind of looking where we are. Now, the better that Trump's economy is moving into next year, which has obviously had a really good GDP number, I think it was 4.5%, then the better off those polls will be, right? The better results the Republicans will get. And then hopefully they do, because the alternative is Marxism and globalism, and that means wrecking the United States, like continuing on, and that means crime and declining average incomes, all those sort of things, all come with it. All the other bad policies that they have. So fingers crossed, we keep common sense in the middle of the fray. So that's kind of the play right now. The third one, of course. So what did we go? Went through Supreme Court. Went through the third one is interest rate cuts. Obviously, we're expecting that late January 26th, I think it is. So just keep those in mind. All right. We already had a liquidation event this year, the 10th of October. So we kind of washed it out into the base price, pulled the prices down in crypto. So we've got a lot of upside potential moving forward there with all the bullish stuff around crypto. That's kind of the framing at the moment. So that's pretty much it on the Bitcoin. Let's jump into the PulseChain. And we've got a lot to talk about there. So hope you guys enjoy that. We're not looking at the Ethereum chart today. We're just moving straight into PulseChain. All right. So PulseChain, of course, it launched on the 13th of May, 2023. And I always say that because we get new people coming along watching the show, right? So just giving them a bit of a background about PulseChain. PulseChain there, a full system state copy of Ethereum on the 10th of May, 2023, which means that if you had assets on Ethereum at the time, you would have got them copied over to PulseChain. Now, on Ethereum, they're called ERC assets, but over on PulseChain, they're PRC assets, and you can get your tokens, your NFTs, etc., all copied over, and that, of course, includes smart contracts. Now, there's always, when you bring complicated smart contracts over, it's always a few broken links and issues around oracles and things like that, and we've had some addressment of that since we've been launched. So here we are, 961 days later. We're counting down towards 1,000 days, and here we got the price of Pulse at the moment is at quadruple 0148, so it's pretty low, and we're down 6.85%. We're going to look at why that is in a minute. We've got PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0122, down 9%. Now, obviously, PulseX is the DEX, or the biggest decentralized exchange on PulseChain, and it is a leverage play on Pulse, right? So it is down even more today versus Pulse, and so therefore you got 9% versus, say, 7% down on PulseChain. Ink token at the moment is just below 62 cents, down 8.6%, and we've got Hex at the moment at 2600th of a penny, down 7.76%. eHex is down a bit further yesterday. Yesterday we're at 0.0093, I think, and we're down at 0.0088 right now. So eHex there, that's Hex on Ethereum. So Hex is on both chains, and we've got the combined price of eHex and PX at 3,500th of a penny, let's say. So that's kind of where we are right now on the old Richard Hart cause. Now, Richard Hart was the founder of PulseChain, of course, and here we are 961 days later. Now, we're going to zoom in on the Pulse chart and break that down a little bit, what happened. All right, so we've got gas prices at the moment, 261,000 beats, so it's pretty cheap to do business on PulseChain, only 1/10 of a penny for a PulseX swap. And at the moment, we've got the validators. We've seen this come down about 600, maybe almost 700, so between 650 700 there, validators over the last week. Probably a bit of positioning going on there, maybe part of the sell down. Don't think so though. So that's kind of, we're down a little bit there at the moment. Now, picking up 32 million Pulse is what you need to be a solo validator, and that's that's super cheap now to do, right? That's super cheap right now. In fact, we might look at how much that is coming up. But the current APR says is around about 9.62%. Presumably that is up to date. Validator store from David Feder. He's supplied 67% apparently of the active validators through his validatorstore.com, and I believe the prices are going up in the new year, the 1st of January, is it? I think it might be. So if you want to get some cheap assets to that, it's the way to do it now. But there are alternatives on PulseChain to do validating, like Vouch, for example, and a few others. So there's probably maybe even half a dozen ways of getting into being validating, or at least delegating into validators. So let's jump over to the bridge right now. 77.5 million, so we're definitely down from yesterday. We've been sitting at around about 78, haven't we, million? So it looks like we're down about $300,000-$400,000 more today from the looks of it. Obviously, with the eHex there moving down further as well. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on that. So let's just zoom in on, before we get to the rest of the markets, let's zoom in on what exactly happened with Pulse today. And did we make a new all-time low? Well, I'm going to have a quick look here. So on the, this is the daily chart on PulseChain. So we're definitely in the low territory. A couple of weeks back on the 3rd of December, these are daily candles. We got to a low of 1472, and then on the 17th, a couple of weeks later, we got down to 1464. So that was that was the all-time low, 1464. What have we got to today? 1461. So we're technically on a new all-time low today, just by a fraction, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, we have got just a slightly new all-time low, just below the 17th of December there. So what's causing that? Obviously, we've got a downtrend on the chart still. We haven't been able to break that. So let's have a quick look at some of the analysis there from CryptoSolve. So he said, just when you think PulseChain is finding a nice bottom, somebody goes and ruins it. Yeah, someone's prepared to exit at this price range. And then we've got two wallets here. Wallet B1A8, so that's the last 4 digits, in conjunction with wallet 7710 and wallet 5FF6 have dumped a collective 15 billion Pulse and 7 billion PulseX in the last 3 days. And there's a snippet of that in below. So it's not just today, but today was pretty serious. But we've had serious selling amongst these wallets in the last 3 days. But in particular, we saw, I think this wallet here, B1A8, 16 hours ago, sell down the chart. A little under $388,000 sold into DAI and bridged out so far. So there we go. That's what's been impacting the charts. The one thing about that, of course, and you can kind of see some of the receipts here from the blockchain. This is from CryptoSolve. You can see that in the chart right now. Now we're going to break down that details. It goes, these latest dumps contributed to a 5% red candle in a single 15-minute window. So let's go have a look at that on the chart. We've got the daily chart here. Let's zoom in on that on the hourly, and you can see that reproduced there. Look at that. That is what happened. So we're sitting at 4 zeros, 1592. So we're going to ignore the zeros in US terms and US dollar terms, and we're at 1592. We went all the way down to 1492. I had a little bit of recovery there, back to 1525, and then we whipped down all the way down to 1461. I think it was. Saying 1462, but 1461 is the mark there. So pretty crazy, bounce backing a little bit here. So what does this mean at the moment? You can pick up a ton of pulse, basically. So it's still DCA strategy, still playing in your favor to pull down your averages. So that is kind of the opportunity that is in front of everybody. They have to make their own due diligence and own decision on that. So that was pretty important there. Bad news, unfortunately, apparently, and I don't know whether they've continued on. We'll have a quick look at some of the wallets. There's a bit more where that came from, 80 billion PulseX and 13 billion Pulse. So that's quite a bit more. So was it 15 and 7 billion PulseX, they said. So they've still got a ton more. 80 billion PulseX, 13 billion Pulse, and 70 million Hex spread out over a few wallets. So still got that in play. So that's about just under, about 1.4 million, about 1.4 million, still at the current price when he did the snapshot anyway. They haven't been particularly active in PulseChain and the ecosystem for a while now, previously provided liquidity on most core pairs before pulling it when INC emissions rates dropped. Otherwise, looking at other chains, they've been a frequent player in the Zen ecosystem and dabbled a bit in a few other crap coins, he says. So yeah, that is Matt here says selling PLS to buy Zen. CryptoSolve says don't think they're buying Zen. It looks like they just batch minted it now and then. Probably Richard, as he owns most of the SAC multiplier. CryptoSolve says it's not. Thanks for playing though. So there we go. That's shutting down the Richard idea. Let them leave in peace, just like they're leaving the charts in peace. So some interesting comments here. So that was from CryptoSolve. So he's one of the 3 sort of analytical guys that I call them analytical influencers. So that is from CryptoSolve. So that gives you a bit of a background behind what's happening with this chart. And if we zoom, sorry, let me get out of full screen. If we screen down here, I think, let me put that up. I've filled it out above 2,500, and we can actually see some of these wallets. I'm just doing a quick look to see whether I can see any of those straight out the gate there. But you can see some of the biggest sales 16 hours ago, but it's 17 hours now. So we've got wallet A8 there. That was one of them, right? A8. And if we zoom in on that a little bit there, we can see those sells. So they hadn't been doing much for a year and 7 months, guys. And in the last 3 days, they've just decided to edge out, which is pretty interesting. So I guess you could try and follow it over the chain maybe or something like that. But that is at 17 hours. They sold down quite a bit there, and yeah, they haven't sold anything through this wallet, at least maybe through the others, but not through this wallet since that time. So yeah, that is that. But we did have, obviously we had that selling, so we had the big selling there, a little bit of buying after that. Then we had some other wallets selling in here. We got this wallet DE. I think that was it on their list there, DE? Not showing on these three wallets. We had wallet DE come in and sell quite a bit. Let's have a little look at that one. Yeah, last 16 hours they sold a bit down about that. Well, it could have been routing through more, but at least 600 million pulse there. And let's see what else is going on. So we had that wallets. Trying to see whether many of these others. We got this 9B wallet, 7A. So 7A there. This is 21 minutes ago. They sold down. Holy heck, they sold down a whole ton there. F7A, is that one of the wallets? F7A? No, it doesn't appear to be. So they just sold down over half a billion pulse just 20 minutes ago. So PulseChain there, down back at 1461 it was, but had a little bit of recovery there with some small buys. So the PulseChain there still under sell pressure. And let's have a look at the whole chart. So we're back at 1484, so just off the bottom right now with the old PulseChain. As you can see, that wicked down to 1461, and here we are. So some heavy selling pressure there, and we had just a very slightly new all-time low. So hopefully that is a decent coverage there of that. So that is the PulseChain. So obviously you can pick up a ton right now. And yeah, so you can check that out. Check it out. That was the play. All right, let's go down to that's Crypto Solve. I'll post a link to his commentary there if you guys want to have another read of that. But that is the chart there. So PLS, give them a follow as well. PLS analyst. What's it? What we're going to call it? Sell down, sell off analytics. And I'm trying to see this analytics. All right, so I think we got that. Anna sucks. Analysis. We'll just do right. Analysis. All right, there we go. Bam, that's it there. All right, we've got a few people in the chat since we've been talking about pulse dumping. Well, we've got Emmett pumping. So there we go. That's the officer. We've got Emmett pumping and pulse dumping. We got Mikey announced there. Woohoo! Get excited, Mikey. Welcome to the chat. Super Snakes as well. Good morning, Superman. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. And we got Brennan and Housey, our TA guru. What do you think about all this, Brennan? Where are we going from here? Let us know in the chat. He's our TA guru inside the Discord. Who the heck is selling at these prices? Scoop. Yeah. Hey, look, it's a gift in the hand, right? You got large holders redistributing their pulse at these prices. That's the way to look at it, isn't it? That's the way to look at it. All right, so that is the link to Crypto Solve. Tell them, say hello, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Super Snake says Troper and Wrap Bitcoin holding up nicely. See where that goes. Okay, we might check out Wrap Bitcoin later on. We check out Troper quite often. We'll have a look at Pulse Wrap Bitcoin. So that's Wrap Bitcoin. That is the copy of the Wrap Bitcoin over on Ethereum. And I think there's about 130 million. 130,000 Wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum, something like that. So it's just a small subset of the 19.6, 9.7 is it now? 9.7 million Bitcoin, I think it is. All right, so yeah, we'll have a look at that later on if I remember. remember. All right, so I think we're up. Let's move on. All right, so let's look at the overall PulseChain markets. So here we are, we're still in a weekend because it's the United States, so here we're Monday in New Zealand, right? It's 12:09 p.m. in the afternoon, so just past midday here on Monday, the 29th of December. But in the US, it's still the 28th, and so we've still got the weekend here. 4.2 million, so pretty low volume on the old PulseChain still, and we get this sort of 4 million mark on the weekends. We've got only 2 tokens. Can you believe it? 2 tokens are green on the old PulseChain there. We've got Dump Tires Gold. It's been around for 5 days. It's up 3.2%. And funnily enough, Top Hat seems to have stopped selling down. That is up 1% right now. Everything else is slightly red. Which is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's where it is. Now they might be slightly red, but they're quite a few of these will be above the PulseChain, still up on the ratio against PulseChain. So it's pretty cool. So we got We've got Top Hat there. We've got Ink Token Dollar. Obviously, we've got Zero Trust tied in the Peacock. That's only down 0.5%. So that's up against Peacock, no doubt, or maybe. We've got ARK there as well, up 0.5% there, probably is. Zendog, of course. So Zero Trust and Zendog all tied into the Peacock. They're both up. In fact, let's have a look at Zendog. I don't want to get too distracted, but let's go to the Peacock ratio. And just slightly up there, in the hour, in the last couple of hours. Otherwise, being down against a lot of volume in there. Don't know what's going on there, but a lot of volume in there last day. Kind of weird looking volume chart though. UFO right now is down 1%. What else there? Let's scroll down here. We got Doubt Token down 2.5%. Gophers, the first 404 contract on PulseChain from Dipcatcher, down 3%. Source on a mini meal there. CEO is Wolfgang. Unfortunately, they're going to be moving to Solana. That is down 3.2%. What else have we got? Let's scroll down here. We've got Teddy Bear from James Maria, down 4.9%. And we've got Pump Tires, the main coin for Pump Tires. Now, Pump Tires is going to face some competition, of course, from CoinMafia, which we're going to talk about soon coming up. They will be, I think, have different use cases, but certainly face competition there. And what else? Let's have a look here. We've got Doubt Token up down 5% here. Unity from Cryptographics down 5.7%. This is versus PulseX, of course, not Pulse directly. So it's got that third layer, I guess you might say. Peacock at the moment sitting at holding up actually pretty well. It's down 5.7, but it's because of Pulse, right? But let's have a look at the ratio of Peacock. And of course, LibertySwap, we're going to be talking about that coming up. Let's have a look at the ratio. Now, that's our chart. So it's sitting nicely in that little, I mean, depends on how you can set it, but it's a little bit rough. What happened to my rough chart? Looks a little bit rough. Let's have it there. I've ignored the little peak out there, but I might get in trouble with Brendan for not having a little peak there. But we're still in this sort of pendant thing, and so yeah, or wedge, we might say, and so waiting to break out there. So we had a little bounce to here, 106. We're down here waiting for LibertySwap V2, right? But we'll talk about that coming up later on. Let's look at the pulse ratio. See how that's performing. Performing kind of well. Hasn't like fully broken out yet, but that's looking a lot better. Look at that. So it's getting there, guys. It's getting there. What's the high so far? This is the daily chart. The high so far is 681. So it's slowly getting there, creeping. And of course, we've got some news update about that. Should we do that first? I was going to do in a different order, but let's do it. Let's do it while we're here. All right. So Vernon says, when LibertySwap V2, so we've got another person asking that, and this is only 4 hours ago. They said, we have deployed the V2 contract, so they have deployed them, and that's why I've got LibertySwap V2 loading on the chart there, and they have been working well. So the V2 contracts are working well. We are now integrating them into our UI or user interface. Since we support many routes and blockchains, the team is taking a careful and patient approach to connect the contracts with the interface. The UI is in the final stage of completion, so it's coming down very, very closely, and this is kind of where the chart is at the moment. So is that going to give we got that pressure cooker on right now, especially if we get a pulse rebound as well? We're going to have a couple of like a triple factor there to the upside, and expect a nice explosive move there. We'll see. But they are building out a whole ton of hooks in here, tying in Batias is what we're expecting. Potentially stable coins as well, expansion. So the product offering expanding there as well. So yeah, we'll see how much of that comes out with this update, and maybe some of it over the few days after the new UI is updated with the V2 contracts sitting behind it. And those V2 is going to allow a whole ton of DeFi to hook in into it. And I like to think about it as a whole ton of DeFi buildings in the river of the bridge and swapping flows there. And of course, that could be mega huge. So we're really excited about that. Brennan says volume needs to pick up on PulseChain, very low at the moment, as indeed. So hopefully LibertySwap will help with that, with the V2 update. That will help bring in a bit more capital. What else? I think that's it. Super Snake says beer is looking cheap at the moment. Dolphin bag for 430. Shell Super Snake. We got that in the house. So there we go. We got that going on right now. With the old LibertySwaps, that's the latest and greatest. I don't think we've had anything since, so we'll double check. You never know at this time of day. What's this? Looks like we have got a post. Glad I did a refresh, right? Glad I did a refresh. All right, so it looks like we have got an update. So let's go through that. So privacy and flexibility, LibertySwap 2.0. LibertySwap evolves into an intent-based liquidity protocol with two modes. There's public mode, instant, gasless, low fee, cross-chain swaps. Okay, we're with that one. Supports emerging blockchains and heterogeneous virtual machines, EVM, SVM, etc. So we've got those multiple blockchains and with different technology, optimized for rapid chain onboarding and volume expansion. So hopefully that might help there with the old lower volumes there. Is that one there? Optimized for rapid chain onboarding and volume expansion. We like that, don't we, Brennan? All right. So that's kind of cool. There's also private mode, which are completely unique, and that's the key thing there, unique. And of course, we know privacy is being priced up a little bit in the market recently, especially following a lot of technologies that's been launched. Particularly, was it Charles Hodgkinson with his new blockchain? And so privacy mode are completely unique. No team has been able to do this, so they're really pushing the boundary. We love this stuff. Cross-chain routing between railgun shielding balances. So basically, this railgun's got whole kind of contracts. You'll be able to hide all the crypto in those contracts and have them shielded. Enables any blockchain to leverage railgun with a unified anonymity set, and then of course privacy preserving liquidity without bridges or user friction there. Awesome stuff. And so we're expecting some pretty cool things to happen from that. So let's have a look at what those are. Hooks. Hooks allow us to build DeFi and trading tool contracts separately and plug them in, guys. Plug them into LibertySwap v2 without modifying core contracts, redeploying, or migrating liquidity. So this is massive, guys. These guys are bringing us the frontier technology, and this is going to have a big impact, I think. So this is huge. This architecture enables much faster updates, greater flexibility, and more opportunities to build, expanding into new markets and generating revenue. Now, we do know that they're going to bring Aave as one of the ones they're looking to bring, right? And we also know they're going to be tying in Petius for privacy trading swaps, which in the first instance will help with professional traders, large whales. All right, they'll be loving that. You can think Richard Hart with the OA or something like that, with all that ETH potentially. Can always come and sneak through now and not being able to be seen by CryptoSolve and all those dudes on the blockchain analysis. So we'll see. It's going to be pretty cool. And then the retail book with a bit of education, we could see that market start to pick up as well. And of course, there's plenty of people and other chains that are using that technology to come over already. So exciting stuff, guys. And we've got a little video here. so let's play a little video. I don't know if I've got the video hooked in, have I? It's got music on it, but we'll play the video without the sound. As you can imagine. I don't know what it's saying actually, but so look. Let me play it again. You know that feeling. Closing your diary, pulling the curtains shut after a long day, or just keeping a text message private. We value our privacy in almost everything we do. Strangely, not with our crypto. So basically, it's just showing that your transactions will be shielded and visible to everybody else, not broadcast. That is true liberty. Beautiful. So you got to love LibertySwap. Not only are they bringing us the best stuff, but they're also doing it with some marketing panache and positivity. So it's pretty awesome. All right, so that is from LibertySwap. Very, very cool. So that is the latest there from the looks of it. I don't know if there's anything else, but that's getting pretty close, guys. So they're ramping up. They're getting almost there. We're looking forward to it, right? Looking forward to it. So get excited. Get excited. That's why I believe Peacock and well-run pump tire coins can better investments than many tokens. So there we go. that is coming up. So that is LibertySwap there. I'll post the link in the chat there if you want to check out some of those posts. But there we go. All right, kicking it through. We're kicking it through today. So we front run. So that is LibertySwap. All right, so that's some of the cool stuff there. Let's quickly go through the rest of the charts because I want to get into the Tru2X update, which is doing very, very well. And so we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so let's see what else is going on at the moment. So we've got Peacock sitting there just below 1/10 of a penny, looking very bullish potentially. And what else we got going down here? Let's have a look. We got Mafia for the Mafia game. We're expecting that to launch soon. Does look very close. That's currently down 6.4% right now on the old Mafia, sitting at number 36. We've got Vouch, the number one validator on PulseChain, down 6.6% at the moment. 9mm and number 2 DEX. We only really got 2 main DEXs plus 2 big balancer forks, big balancer forks, and that's down 6.7% right now. So we will have a quick look at the Mafia. Let's do that quickly. So that is the daily chart there. So it's down a little bit there. Let's look at the weekly chart. That's the weekly. So it's been up quite a bit. So the market really looks like it's anticipating the launch, getting very close. If we have a look at the website, let's do that quickly on the old Mafia. I've got to keep time frame of time, but that is the Mafia game at the moment. So this will be the first fully fledged game, launched. Not expected to disappear at any time. And so yeah, that is where we're at the moment. And it will be multi-chain as well. Look, apparently it's going to base and monad as well, but it's on Pulse and BNB right now, right? Pulse and BNB. Yeah, base and monad going to be there. So they're using ICCP? And yeah, technology, I think it is, cross-chain technology there. And this definitely, they've changed a lot of stuff on here, and they've got the roadmap, everything else. So we're expecting that to get very close to launch. And if you go to the regs, we've got the docs there. I think we have somewhere. Where'd the docs go? The doc, here it is here, right? It's on the main menu. Anyway, so we got the rollout here, right? We've got the rollout. They do still have a little bit around the open business and group grinds, but I'm not sure whether that's actually not completed or not. We've got rebirth, vault requirements, and official launch. So they're pretty damn close, honestly, to launch. So maybe the new year, maybe they're waiting for the sentiment in the market to change as well. But it looks very close, doesn't it? With the old Mafia there. So that is kind of cool. I like what they've done with the the homepage on the website. Looks much better, and it's nice to have a refresh regardless, right? So there we go. That is Mafia right now. It's already been moving up for at least 3 or 4 weeks. Let's have a look at the what are the other ones we're going to look at? Vouch number 38, down 6.6% on the US dollars. Let's have a look at the pulse ratio. So it's pretty flat on the US price. This is number one validator on PulseChain, right? I think over 5,000 validators. Let's look at the weekly chart there. So that's the weekly chart. They've definitely gone up. So they were less than one vouch was less than a pulse, but now it's just more than a pulse. So 1.04. So you get 4% more. There we go. What else? We looked at 9mm. 9mm has been doing very well, just doing the business. They are sitting at they've had a couple of weeks in a row upwards, just down today, obviously with pulse down. But let's look at the pulse ratio. And they're still holding up, so not really affected too much. Still at 516 pulse per 9mm, so doing pretty well. And I think they've been delivering around about $20,000 in profit sharing, somewhere in that ballpark. But go double check those numbers. But that's kind of the indicated one I saw last time, about 2 months ago or something. 2 months ago, it's a long time. But that's kind of play. Let's have a look what else we got there. We scroll down, looking at some of these. Liquid loans sitting there down 7.9%. All the Richard cores in the mix here. Delt token down 8.5% right now. That's at 0.3 of a penny. We'll have a quick look at that. So you can see it down with the pulse price, but how's it doing versus the ratio? It's doing very well. Look at that. So Delt token on the move. So these, when you look at the pulse ratio, you can actually tell how strong the project actually is. And obviously this is looking very strong here with the old Delt there. Obviously you want to deep dive into the holders and all the rest of it, but that's actually doing pretty well there. What else? We've got SCADA down here, down 8.6%, along with Nuke the Supply. Let's scroll down a bit further here. We've got the Atropa. So who asked us to look at Atropa? I think it was Super Snake. Have a look at Atropa. There we go. We've got Atropa there. It is down almost 10%, 9.8%. That's versus DAI. It's sitting at pretty big market cap, right? 18 million almost. Let's have a quick look at that. So that is the chart there with the US price. Obviously, that's a DAI pair, not a Pulse pair. So it's sitting at 3.3 cents right now. That is the chart. Not much else I can say. I mean, you could look at the RSI, but that is where we are. What else are we going to say about that? We've got time dividend down here. We've got PTC the Grays, but we'll talk about time dividend first. Time dividend there down 10.6%, along with like 9mm and any swapping sort of protocol. That's down on the US price. So just holding above, just below 11/100th of a penny, really. The pulse ratio, see how that's going. Not so bad. Not as strong as one or two of the others, but like 9mm, for example, but still holding up there at about 72. All right, what else? Let's have a look there. We got obviously for investor sitting at $1.97. IG WebShift, that's down 12%. The Trump meme coin down 11.4%. Bria, which we're anticipating probably in January now. CoinWell to benefit from CoinOne on CoinMafia. Of course, those are two protocols from Rack and Michelle, and his wife Jen is the CEO of all that. But we have got CoinMafia coming up, so the first of their protocols. And so what's that at the moment? Bria sitting at 20, just below 2,600. So we'll look at Bria there. Let's have a look at that. All right, so Bria down on the US price here on the daily. Today, obviously not surprised because Pulse is down, but still got a Pulse ratio. And we obviously we actually are down a little bit on that. We're at 20.5 at the top of the day. We're down at 17.25. So that's a decent little drop there today on the ratio, but still holding kind of in this range, getting ready, I guess, for that launch, which is probably January now, right? So it's kind of the play. P Tiger there from Crypto Tiger God, down 14%. Let's see how that's doing. It was doing pretty well. Remember, it was actually fighting back, down with the Pulse at the moment, 14%. So it's definitely down versus Pulse. The Pulse ratio, let's look at that, is down to 214. So just drifting down here. Now, it may cascade, where suddenly it sort of drifts and then it just falls really big. That may occur. We've got the RSI at 41, so definitely could do that. So we might get some support, maybe 187. We're at 214. If it drops below that, then maybe 123. We'll see. It's printing out new history, so we'll see how that goes. What else? Fitzgerald Company. We won't look at that today, but that's there. Sparta right now down 18%. Wow. Let's look at the Sparta Pulse ratio there. Sparta versus Hex, of course, is the biggest pool. But let's look at the Sparta Pulse. And because I want to look at Pulse ratio there. So that's down at 1.7 cents, almost 1.8 cents. Down quite a bit there. So we've got a Pulse ratio. That is down today too. So it was sitting at almost 1,400. It's down at just below 1,200 right now. But it did drop down quite low. Probably liquidity at 89K. Market cap 2.3 mil. Now they're obviously the Hex pair there as well. A quick look at that. So the Hex pair there. A bit of sell volume. Look at that coming. Woof. Oh. What's that? $78,000 in volume, guys. Wow. So that dropped down. Let's look at the Hex ratio. Hex ratio there dropped down a bit too. There's the weekly candles, so down from 7.7 to 6.7. So there we go, down one X per Sparta there, down today, but still, up slightly from the bottom there. All right, so there's our charts. I think that's a reasonable coverage of the charts here today. We were going to quickly look at Wrap Bitcoin, right? So let me go to Pulse coin list. It's just it seems the easiest place to find it. Pulse coin list, and we'll pull that in, and that will be our final updates in the markets. Let's go see whether we can find the Wrap Pulse. Is it liquidity or market? But just remember liquidity. Where's PDI at the moment? Actually, let's go to market. Actually, market. Let's do liquidity. Tropa, we've got Tropa there. PDI. So PDI at the moment is sitting at 0015. Now remember, isn't this supposed to be at $1 by the end of the year? So it's got a long way to go. They're going to have a blip in the matrix because there's the big bet on between Decentralize Me and Eric Wall, right? So one of Eric's 6 bets with apparently that he's got on. I think they're all with PulseChain people, if I remember rightly. So yeah, it's coming up 50,000 buckaroos, isn't it? 50,000 bucks. So we'll see what happens there. What else are we going to look at? Wrap Bitcoin. Here it is here. So Wrap Bitcoin, $247 right now is the old Wrap Bitcoin on PulseChain. This is the fork copy. Let's have a look at the chart. So it's at $246. Let's have a look at the daily chart on this. So you can see, man, it's had some highs, isn't it? Had some glorious highs. The last big local high was $1,157. That was back in August. So it was a few months ago. And the all-time high back here on the 29th of November last year, so over a year ago, and it got up to $2,675. And it's currently $246 right now. Being fairly consolidated there. Let's look at the pulse ratio. Pulse ratio 16.57 million pulse per one wrapped Bitcoin. How about that? So the supply is 154,000 wrapped Bitcoin on PulseChain. I think that there's about 125 to 135,000 on. Just guessing that range on the old Ethereum side. I think we've got more on this side. I think there was Richard talked about this, didn't he? Some minting or something around the wrapped Bitcoin. Forgotten the backstory to that at the moment. I have to go do a refresher. But that is the wrapped Bitcoin. That's our markets, guys. But let's get into the projects. Without further ado, we got any more comments about here? I think we covered everything, didn't we? I think we did. I think the conclusion was we need some more volume. I think that's correct. We need some more volume, that's for sure. Well, LibertySwap's going to help with that, right? And all these top tier projects that we're about to talk about are going to play a role in at least getting probably new capital and more turnover as well, and maybe get some of that idle capital sitting on PulseChain moving as well. How about that? So we've got solutions for bridging and stuff, for making money on other chains, for getting stuff on PulseChain moving, all those stable coins, etc. So if we can get all that in the mix, we can get a bit of game on there. And that excludes anything Richard Hart might do. Maybe Richard might bring us a God Mode candle or X Godwell, and we'll see how we get on in the New Year's party. Everybody was King Fu fighting. King Fu fighting for sure. All right, so let's jump away and let's talk about Tru2X, guys. So the True DeFi team, it's got a whole ton of well-known Polskins in it, leading the way. And they have come up with some terrific results. So look at this, guys. They have day 8. So day 8, so just over a week. The stats of Tru2X have been amazing. There is no token for this, remember. I believe the way it works is you've got an auction, you go on the auction, and then you make set up miners with it. Don't miss out on the Tru2X. So that is basically the idea of your miner. You get Tru2X and Pulse. They've got particular mechanisms. So you have your the retail book does miners, the system does miners, and partner projects that join in do miners as well. So you've got kind of there's 3 parts to it. And over time, the idea is that the system miners and that sort of take over more of the protocol and help prop up the market. Now, to kick it off, they needed a really good result to kick it off to get plenty of capital moving, and it's been amazing. They've done it. So I can't say much to that. Now, obviously, not financial advice, due diligence, all that good stuff, but it's had a terrific result. So let's have a look at that result. It is still climbing there. 156 billion pulse so far has gone into this. Now, obviously, pulse price is down a little bit today, but that's still an amazing result. 156 billion so far has gone into this, which I think is absolutely amazing. And so congratulations to the team, just amazing there. So obviously we're looking at Neil for T-shares here, but you can see the day 1 factors, day 2 factors, 3 factors, 4 factors, 5 and 6. And so you've got some pretty amazing results. So day 1 was 1.01 factor. That was equivalent to 5,296% on the APYs, the annual percentage yield or return there. And you can see day 6 is gone to a 0.137, 2,507% APY. So, which is actually up on day 5, interestingly enough. So day 7, obviously, results are not on here, and of course they're on day 8, and they're up to 156 billion pulse so far. 5,666 miners. So some impressive stuff, and especially during this Christmas New Year period. What an amazing result! Where it's a lot more quieter, generally speaking. So these guys are really kicking some butt there. Now, remember, as a backdrop, if you exclude the OA wallets, there's around about 17 trillion pulse, right, in the retail book. It's just underneath that amount. So compared to 156 billion to 17 trillion. So, pretty amazing. So pretty cool. Let's see where it goes. Now, the question is, they keep this sort of momentum up, and I'm very excited about it so far. It's looking very positive. Will they hit the trillion mark? Imagine 1 trillion out of 17 trillion. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Maybe they even go past that. I mean, it's pretty mind blowing if you think about it. So I'm very excited to see and watch this project. Tru2X and Pulse is the proposition, the value proposition there. And of course, people can compound their miners. They can start up new miners, all that sort of stuff. So it's a pretty interesting project. And I'm really interested to see the system miners work taking over the project as well, all that sort of global dynamics. So pretty cool. Yeah, very cool. So they have, it's one of the hottest telegrams at the moment. So if you get in there, have a chat, you can ask all the questions you want in the old Tru2X. I think we might have the link here, do we? Yeah, Tru2X is the link there on X, but also Neil Fatishis gives a lot of the alpha there. So if you want to find out more, I would strongly suggest you join the Telegram. You can see it there at the moment. So that's Tru2X. Keep up the good work, guys. We'll probably hopefully get an interview with those guys again, as we did one a couple of weeks ago before they launched. Yeah, check it out. Tru2X, True DeFi. Tru2X is the project, and they will be doing more stuff too in the future as well, as I hear on the radio, as it were, the radio. Most of you probably, if you're under a certain age, probably don't know what a radio is. What the heck's a radio? What's that? We got Work for Crypto says RSE is engaging with Emmett. So yeah, let's talk about that actually. So what happens when the pulse goes in? So they had 156 billion pulse so far, probably gone higher than that now. But 14% of that pulse goes into strategic partners, right? So that's pretty huge. And we can see the first one from looks like Emmett. So Emmett, of course, is one of our top farms on PulseChain. In other words, you provide some liquidity, you get LP tokens, you put those LP tokens in the farm, and you earn high yields in the old Emmett farm. And look at the chart of Emmett. So Emmett obviously is part of the partner program, and it's just rocketing up with volume. Look at that. So it's now gone from before the project. So let's go 8 days or so. I think it's been buying for a couple of days. So how many days is that? 8 days. Back to the 28th, is it? No, 20th December. So 20th December, it's gone from around about 30 cents, or we could take it from the bottom there, 25 cents. Let's do that. And it's gone all the way up now. Look at that. Wow. It's gone up 5x, guys. 5x in 10 days. So up 400%, 5x in 10 days. So, there is activity on PulseChain, and Tru2X is really doing some amazing stuff there. So a 5x on the old Emmett there. So big shout out to Kairos there, with the obviously got a partner miner there with a first mover advantage too, with the old Tru2X program there, and we see the system in operation with that 14% pulse. So it's pretty neat. Work for Crypto says RSE owns 13% of Emmett single side staking pool. Oh well, let's have a look at the pool then. I do have the Emmett farm here, so let's go have a look at that. Emmett, Emmett there. Let's go to Emmett. So if you guys haven't checked out Emmett Farm, you should do that. It's definitely one of the best farms, if not maybe even the best. It's pretty amazing with the sustainable EDI payments. So you can see the EDI pool here. Look at that. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, look at that. That's crazy. Look at that stuff now. I see the market cap too is now $241,000 for Emmett. Yeah, 241,000. That's pretty awesome. So $250,000. And what else? We got the yield at the moment on. So if you stake Emmett, you're earning EDI, and it's 126% APR right now. So amazing stuff there, and that's got a TVL of $152,000 on TVL for that one. Obviously, there's other pools like Emmett Pulse, Emmett Dai. They've all got pretty attractive APRs. Look at that, pretty neat. So definitely worth checking out there with the old Emmett farm. Might as well post a link to that in the chat there as well. So nice. Yeah, so it's great to see the RSE and take some of that capital and going into partner programs. So we're looking forward to see all that play out on the returns and everything else. So that's Emmett Farms there from Chorus. So big shout out. All right, so you got Tru2X in Dynamics is playing out. So we're going to be following that quite closely. So there we go, guys. That's Tru2X. I think I posted you the link in there. That's the Tru2X link. Join up to Telegram. That's where all the action is. They have a lot of voice chats at the moment. It's probably really high engagement. And then Emmett Farms, if you're looking for from high APRs, there we go. All right. What else? I think that's it kind of at the moment. All right. So let's jump over to the next project, which is coming up. So Tru2X obviously is hot. And of course, Emmett Farm there is enjoying the warmth. So pretty cool. What other projects will be enjoying the warmth with the old RSE? It'll be interesting to see. All right, so we got Raka Michelle coming up. So PulseChain, their biggest whale. He's a venture capitalist, and he likes Lamborghinis, particularly green ones, green Lamborghinis. And he's launching CoinMafia and CoinWell, as well as CoinAki, I believe, and a couple of other websites as well around education and crypto. But CoinMafia is going to be a new revolutionary coin launching site, and CoinWell is going to be a full DeFi ecosystem suite. So it's going to be multi-chain. Apparently, CoinMafia is going to be over 375 chains are going to be accessible. So it's really changing the dynamics. There's a whole ton of different tokenomics there, and we're looking forward to it, including refunding the retail book, I think, if it doesn't bond or something like that. So that's pretty exciting. So there we go. That is coming up. And Joshua Wu, well-known personality in the PulseChain community, a comedian by trade, is also a director for the CoinMafia, and he's doing a lot of stuff involving referrals and thing out and hitting out to the community with promotions like influencers and everything else. So pretty exciting there. Now we've got a few little updates here. I am enjoying the branding. I think the branding is really great with the CoinMafia and the ape, and so it's kind of neat. And this will be, in the market where, Pump Tizers, Pump Fun, all these sort of token launcher sites kind of market, but the tokenomics is very different. They've really flipped it around. And so in Pump Ties, you can, if you're the one launching a token, you can hold 82% of the token if you wanted to. And here, I believe it's 10%. And they've got a lot of other differences there. They're also going to have referrals as well. So it's going to be pretty popular. And so we're excited to see where that goes. They're also going to have KOLs launches, KOL drops, verified devs, and there obviously a lot of other activity there, community, and you're going to be able to create a token, referrals, etc. So we're pretty excited about where that will be going there with 375 chains plus. That could be pretty mega huge. So we're looking forward to that. Apparently, already about 125,000 people have been looking at the site, and I think I'm not sure if that's a daily number, but it's pretty big. And so yeah, why CoinMafia will own in 2026. While Pump Fun and clones fight over single chain scraps, and of course they are on single chains, we will deliver. So they're going to have a true 375 EVM multi-chain launches, upward bonding curves, and real anti-snipe floor. That's going to be very important, right? Obviously, a lot of bots, target a lot of these platforms. Industry first smart refunds, so pro rata protection. So that's going to be really, really cool. I think people really like that. So I think that, there's use cases for both of them, but I think this is going to really open up a lot of the retail book for this. Mandatory token burn flywheel. Now that's going to be very attractive, right? Mandatory token burn flywheel feeding. Mathematical coin singularity. Founder burned 90% and takes 0 ultimate alignment. So he will be buying up the token himself. Plus there's a VIP whitelist. Completes curve with pre-public. And bots and snipers get nothing, so that's very important. That's always plaguing crypto launches. Fairness redefined, degens protected, volume incoming, where early family don't say we didn't warn you. Now, the cool thing about this, I think from a strategic point of view, CoinMafia gets all this attraction, all these users, and then, of course, then you launch your big DeFi ecosystem, CoinWell. So it's kind of nice strategic sort of phasing, and, of course, with CoinAki later on with Battle of the Memes potentially and burning tokens and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I see it at the moment. And the marketing's really cool. I like the marketing, so that's kind of the play right now with that. So we might hit the old. We'll probably hit the repost button now. I'm going to do a repost on that. I'll do it a bit later. But that's the play. Now, if you want to join CoinMafia, you want to be part of the action, you can go and follow them on CoinMafia. So give them a follow on the old Telegram, and maybe even leave a comment there. But if you want to join up, get part of the action of CoinMafia coming up. If you love token launches and being part of all that, then that's something you want to get on pretty quick and stay with the latest news there. So big shout out to the team there. I think they're doing a great job with the marketing ramp up, and we're looking forward to 375 chains. I mean, it's going to be pretty exciting to see that play out. It gives optionality to people, right? I know that we're seeing a lot of growth in multi-chain protocols. So that makes it a lot easier for people. The whole world's multi-chain is the future, really. You just want to be the chain that takes in a lot of the capital from other chains. Is kind of the idea. So that is CoinMafia, guys. Join up today. Hit the follow button there. As you can see, I'm following myself. So be an early adopter and get on that. All right. So we also got Joshua Wu. Joshua Wu, of course, is the director and of CoinMafia. You can see at the top here. He also does some marketing, promotion, and comedy. and he's been targeting a lot of the influencers out there. You can see he's got his CoinMafia attire on. That's pretty good. All right, so what else there? We've got some videos out there as well from Joshua Wu. So he's out and about. He's out and about there. So kind of cool, doing his thing. And so we're looking forward to more of that marketing promotion. So that's coming up too. Will we get a pre-Christmas? Will we get a New Year's Eve launch or something like that? I don't know. We've got a couple of days left, I guess. How many days we got? 2 or 3 days. I don't know whether it's going to be a New Year's Eve launch. We'll see. It could be a brand new New Year's launch. Maybe it's in the first week of January. So it's soon anyway. It's very soon. I know the VIP whitelist hasn't been allocated yet, so that sort of tempers that near-term launch. But it could be. We'll see. We'll see how we get on. Certainly coming up close. Maybe early January. We'll see how we go. Maybe they'll wait for us turn in the market sentiment. That might be delaying things as well. And they're still doing maybe a few little updates here and there for some of the product platform interface there. So there's a few little questions that I had there, but pretty cool. You can see that is the website, and it's coming soon. So look excited about that. All right, and it's going to have its own platform token, CoinMafia, obviously with that whitelist, and that will probably be pretty demand. I understand there's going to be about 100 million coins kicking off, so there'll be probably a lot of demand for that, and millions, possibly millions of impressions there, ready to rock and roll, really rock and roll. All right, so that is Joshua Wu. Now the other one that we haven't really talked about is Tetra. Tetra is expected to launch before New Year's Eve. Now question mark over that at the moment. I don't know whether they've had an update. Let me just go quickly check and see whether Tetra's had any update about that. That was the expected launch date for Tetra. Let's see here. Let's see whether Stu's got any more updates. Let's see here. What do we have? 25th there. Congratulations. Yeah, let's see here. Scrolling down. There was a competition giveaway. I don't see one here about the launch update, but it was supposed to be between Christmas and New Year's. So we've still got a couple of days. We'll see how we go with that. So I don't see any particular update here that I can see, but yeah, we'll keep a lookout for that. Maybe there'll be an update tomorrow or something. We'll see. So that is the update there for the market. So those are some of the heavyweights. They're all pretty heavyweight projects. The other one, of course, is Vouch 369, the multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork from Fast Abdul. So that looks like that's probably going to push into New Year's now, unless he does some surprise launch before the end of the year. That's always possible. But it does look like we're getting a few of these drifting into the beginning of next year, which is fine. I mean, anyone can wait a week or two. No dramas there. But they're all pretty top quality projects, which is the exciting part about it, right? And very exciting. So, yeah, what do we have? True DeFi, congratulations. Tru2X hitting over 150 billion pulse, and that looks like it's just climbing every day. Like it's doing really well. We're at 132, I think, yesterday. So it keeps continuing to ramp up there. They're obviously the RSE there's now investing into first partner program there with Emmett Farms, and it'll be interesting what next projects sort of pop up there. We've got CoinMafia getting very close. LibertySwap looks like that's definitely. So LibertySwap's the one that is most likely to launch before the end of this year, so New Year's Eve. So that's definitely looking plausible with the token rollout. And then question mark over CoinMafia could be dropped into the beginning of the year, and question mark over Tetra, but both of them looking very close. And then, of course, we could have a ton of launches in January, right? Including Mafia and Signum Oracle following Tetra. So there's a lot of stuff to be excited about coming up in the next few weeks, and we'll be covering them when they launch. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Now in 5 minutes, we've got the Monster Thread coming out later on today, guys. Week number 34. 34 weeks. All the hottest PulseChain news. And so that's coming up later on today. So look forward to that. That'd be a great read. It's great for onboarding, sharing around to new people. And it's also great for if you're busy to catch up on everything in PulseChain. But if you are in PulseChain, you'll probably find quite a few things in the Monster Thread that you may have missed if you're not online all the time. So it's a wonderful publication, and we're proud of it here at the Crypto Night Show, and really is a great contribution there. It is a professional publication, and really is covering all the people, all the cool DeFi and things like that that's on the chain. So and GameFi and everything else. So very excited about that. So look forward to that coming later on today. MVS Crypto is working hard on that. And hope you guys enjoyed the show. I had a fun time. Hope you guys did too. And look forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow's another day. And we'll see what happens tomorrow with all these projects we've been talking about. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and take care. I'll catch you again. Let's see how we get on for New Year's Eve. Any God mode candles coming? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's keep an open mind. And of course, at the moment, Pulse on that pullback today, that whale, that large holder wanted to give you some cheaper Pulse. So you can DCA and scoop. The massive mad volumes right now, especially when you compare it to the main sacrifice prices. It is crazy. So good times. All right, take care. Catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you tomorrow on the next coverage of crypto and PulseChain. All right, bye for now.